And I looked at Alex and told Alex, listen, I want to go to California because they do things differently there. It's very contemporary. Let's go and talk to PR companies in California that are in real estate and see what they have, what they can offer us. And then one of my builder friends told me, look at this shit. This is a company in California that they created this brochure for me for real estate. Nobody does this shit like that. This is amazing. Look at that. And I look and I see this sexy brochure that they've created for him and a company called The Agency.
Welcome back to The Art of Greatness. We are very excited for our new special guest. And our guest today was part of the former Israeli military. She was part of the anti-ballistic defense team. She went up the ranks and became a director there. She moved to the U.S. and went into real estate, opened up her own agency, has one of the top teams in the country, ranked 14th in the U.S. and number one in all of Maryland. She is the managing partner of the agency in DC metro area, and the Dominican Republic.
Hold on.
Soon to be.
Hold on. No. Don't steal my thunder. Hold on. I got to cut you off. No, I love that. I'll take over from there. And she's one of our closest and dearest friends to Paige and I. That's beyond anything else. We just love her to death, number one. Number two, she is our managing partner of, thank you for setting the gateway of me introducing the rest of Dominican Republic, soon to be our managing partner of downtown Toronto. So it's in the works. So we couldn't mention Yorkville, but you did it because it's not launched yet. But
something like that.
But okay, who cares? We're gonna mention and Yorkville. But anyways, beyond that, she's a dear friend and she's a force to be reckoned with. Nobody messes with Nurit. I'll tell you right now.
All right, let's welcome Nurit Coombe. We're excited to have you on here, Nurit.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how I can follow this. Are you talking about me? Really?
Yes, baby.
Well, I'm fortunate to have you guys as my best friends. I tell you that. This is like warms my heart. I love you. Absolutely love you.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for this. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
All right, we're excited to get going. We're actually going to go deep into your past. We're going to start off with talking about your upbringing and how that was like. I know you had an interesting childhood, to say the least. So let's get into a little bit of that before the military and what really prompted you getting in there. But pre-military, what was life like, family like, where were you, and a little bit about Nurit.
Okay, well, I'll just be candid. I'll open it all up right here because that's what we should do, right? Well, I was born and raised in Israel, Mount Carmel, Haifa, beautiful city. Israel is a little tiny country. Everybody's a family kind of thing, which is really wonderful. And I think that the surrounding is what really shaped me because in my house, there was a lot of chaos, sadly. I came from a very broken family. And I think I was very, maybe not, totally not who I am today. But maybe that shaped me because I was a fighter at that point. I had to fight for my mom. We were three sisters. I'm the little one. But I was the one, like my older sister, she probably had the most grunt of the issues. My father used to beat my mom, beat us up. He was not, we were abused. And my older sister took it really hard. So she was always like really afraid and under a table somewhere. My middle sister, she was the pretty one and he never touched her. And she just like, heck with you guys, and went somewhere else. And I had to go in between my mom and him. I was just really, really kind of badass 12-year-old, 11-year-old, whatever you call it. I was raised this way to be very hard. I don't think my father ever liked me. And also I was not the pretty sister. They were prettier as far as he's concerned. So really, this is not a great upbringing. But the lucky part about it is Israel, it's the culture of everybody around you. It's a one country. We're all brothers and sisters in a way. So my friends' parents, my friends' family, I wanted to be liked by them. So I was always like the best and the sweetest and the best student. My teachers always loved me. It's kind of funny. Like I remember that my father used to say, like my sister couldn't study because she was so scared, the older one. So he always like really bad to her. For me, I always had a straight A student, not because I want to be liked by him, I want to be liked by my teachers and my friends' parents and stuff, because I'm good to be around. The funny thing is every time I had the report card, my father used to look at it like and say, "Oh, that's the boring one. Okay, let's move on."
Oh, God.
Because it was all straight A.
Oh, that's the boring one because it's a straight A and he couldn't punish you for something. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
No, it wouldn't punish me. It was just like, there was no reward. It was like, who cares? But anyways, it really is, I think, a country that have support outside is really great. And I left my house when I was 15 and a half. I actually rented a place and worked in Bagel Nash, which is a bagel shop, and finished my high school. So
On your own?
I just took, I took 2 buses to a high school
wow.
and just finished my high school on my own. And everybody in Israel after that go to the military. So it was one of those things that, I'm going to the military and see what happens. At that time, I was lone soldier because my parents left to Paris, and then they end up divorcing there, which is good. But I was a lone soldier, and the military kind of like took over or helped me continue shaping me. And this is where the first time I actually felt that I could be somebody, or that I have some assets to provide, or I have some smarts and brain and whatever.
A sense of belonging.
I felt very, I didn't feel connected to anything, and I didn't know who I am. I didn't know that I may actually can do something.
How did you have the courage, Nurit, to at the age of 15 to go on your own? Where did you get that courage and that's a lot. It's to be on your own. I was on my own when I was 13 years old in Turkey. I was like, I resonate with you a lot. Maybe that's one of the reasons, because I did come from a broken family too, and I didn't talk about it on the podcast. But
isn't it amazing?
But isn't that amazing? But how did you get the courage to go and rent a place for your own? And what were those thoughts going through and the emotions going through into your head when you were 15 years old?
And were any of your siblings with you at this time?
Yeah.
No. So my older sister got married at age 18. She is still lovingly married to her husband that she met when she was 14. So he was kind of like saved her. And my other sister went to the military. So I stayed with the chaos at home alone. And every time they had a fight and blah, blah, my mother used to leave us with the chaos. So I worked as a waitress, and I came home at 11 o'clock at night. And in Israel, if you leave the key inside the door, you cannot unlock the door. So we lived in a condo, and they had a fight, and my father stayed at home. She left. I came home, and I couldn't open the door. I just couldn't open the door. And I sat there all night outside in a very cold staircase of the building staircase until there's buses in the morning, 5 a.m. And that's where I said, you know what? I'm never coming back.
Oh my goodness.
And that was the moment that actually changed me in a way that I said, no, I have this job and I'll figure it out. So I had a friend of a friend. His parents left and out of the country for a mission or something, and he was in the military. And he said, "You know what? I'll give you a room if you clean the house and do my laundry." And I said, "You got it." And that's that's what happened.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow.
So now you go on into the military, and what's that experience like? Now you feel a sense of belonging. You feel like you're learning something. You feel like you're giving something to someone where you're able to really grow, right? That was your first experience of growth, would you say?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. It's a recognition. Suddenly they give you this job that first of all you go basic training, and then you go to another training for whatever the job they assign for you. And lucky me, they gave me a job that was very, very important, and I was suddenly in a war room, in a bunker, responsible on protecting the borders. And if there's any incident, I'm the one who's calling off the helicopters, the soldiers, the roadblocks, the little kibbutzes, the moshavs, everybody, and pretty much handling that situation while reporting to the central command, because somebody has to handle it right there moment when something happens. And then they bring the troops and everybody else. So it was a very responsible, very fast thinking, very you're protecting people's life, really. It's right there. You have an infiltrator, and could be a terrorist, and what do? You roadblock, you send helicopters, you send this, you send that, troops, and which roads you think you should block because they may have gone this way, may have gone that way. So there's a whole thing that you do, you go through, and it felt good. Felt that you actually can do something, and you think out of the box, you're responsible, then you train. I was then training the rest, other people underneath me, and it was very fast growth from being 17 and a half, an 18-year-old to a 20.
You had to grow up quickly. You had to really grow up quickly and be a strong woman. That's just crazy.
And how many years did you spend in the military in total?
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
And after that, I stayed in defense for another 11 years.
Wow.
So I continue in defense, but really, I think this is a really amazing thing that we have in Israel, and I wish that it has been everywhere in the world, because you take the kids that were under their parents or whatever, and instead of going and partying in college because suddenly I'm by myself and I don't have supervision, you actually go to military.
And how long is the period of time that you have to be? 2 years? Because I know back home for me is 2 years.
For girls, minimum 18 months for girls, unless you have different job that are required for a little more, and 2.5 years for a guy.
And that's mandatory, like us, like back home is mandatory.
It's mandatory, yeah. And it's a wonderful thing.
And actually, I believe that it builds people.
I'm not going to lie. I did enjoy partying between 18 and 20. I just want to put that out there. Partying's a lot of fun too, guys. But if you can join the military and grow, it's a great gig for sure. So you stayed in this role for 11 years. What kind of prompted you to stay there for so long, for that 11-year duration on the defense side? And what really prompts you to leave a place like that? And what were kind of your biggest takeaways? Because this is a high pressure job, fast decision making. You're learning a lot. You're growing a lot. I don't know if were you leading a team at that time, or were you an individual who was just giving out certain things that need to be done?
So actually, I had most of the career here in the U.S. I was representing Israel here in the U.S. So I was in the embassy for a while. And then after that, we moved outside of the embassy. Our office, we were a government entity, and then we became government-owned company. This is the Missile System House of Israel. And I was 21 years old, then 22, getting a little more position, more jobs to do for the products that I was working on. I worked on, at the beginning, I worked on unique explosives for military operations in urban terrain, which is pretty much how to infiltrate to a building with using minimal collateral damage, just because the hostile may surround themselves with women and children as a human shield. So you want to use explosive for surprise to go in quickly, but you don't want to have collateral damage because you don't want to kill the people inside. So that was one of the projects that I worked on. And I used to go to the Pentagon, and I'm young Israeli girl and pretty hot chick back then with
22.
miniskirt and Israeli. And I would go to the Pentagon, and I had tons of ears because I had people from other rooms coming in to see who is Israel sent, who is this girl, who is this? And
This is a 22-year-old Nurit going in like
We're gonna scout a picture and throw it up on the podcast
we will.
afterwards.
We'll try to see if we can find one.
yeah, this is my back then curly hair picture.
I love it.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's funny, but I had so I worked as an assistant to the director, and the government paid for my education. I did my undergrad, my master's. I continued to work while doing that, and I advanced to a director of business development. I worked on several programs here in the U.S. Last program I worked on was the anti-ballistic missile defense. I worked on the target missile that simulates the Scud, so we can then try to intercept. And that was nothing is classified. Obviously, what I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Are you allowed to say
Can you tell us some trade secrets of the Israeli military?
Yeah, sure.
We don't want to go there.
For the whole
We
world?
basically, this would be our last podcast if we went there. So we're not trying to.
I'm kind of worthless. I don't even know any more secrets. So that was bad back then. My secrets are all out now.
All out now.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was very, very at the beginning intimidating. I've learned how to present in a hard pressure. Everybody that I presented to was 30 years older than me. Stuffy, big, generals.
How did you get the
that.
courage? How did you get the courage to deal with these? Because I can imagine in Pentagon, and especially military, they're not easy people to deal with. They're very direct, very to the point, and obnoxious sometimes. So how did you? What was those? What were you? How would you train yourself to be in front of these people and sign up contracts or
and also in a male dominant space, right?
In a male dominant
in a heavily male dominant space, because this is what 90. The military is what 90+% men, right? 90+%, I would say.
Listen, it was all males, and it was all could be my fathers, and they all had suits and ties back then, and very, very formal or military, formal military equipment. I mean, clothings.
Yeah.
And you had so I think the key really in anything is to know. If you know your shit, you know what you're talking about, then you have the confidence.
Knowledge. Yeah.
So I would have never gone without knowing everything I need to know because, and I was young and I just had to really absorb everything. And then I wrote my own slides because then I know what I'm talking about. I never they send me the slides and I push them aside and I'll redo my own slides. And so I prepared preparation, and knowing, and then be candid. What you don't know, it's okay. You're allowed not to know. So I would say that I had to center myself and tell myself, you know what? If I don't know, I don't know. If they don't like me, they don't like me. But I'm here to tell them what I know.
That's amazing.
And the funny thing is, they really were so impressed that I'm young and who is Israel sent, and it was that curiosity actually worked towards me, and I was so welcomed, and I had such an open ears, so I was able to get actually more than if there would be somebody else would come.
Incredible.
So, but it wasn't easy. I tell you that it wasn't easy. It's to learn how to talk in front of people, a group of people that they're so knowledgeable.
Of course.
And, but we have the same goal. We have the same problems. We have the same issues. They were going towards preparing for the war in Iraq. We talking in the same area, same situations, same issues, same things. We got solutions that are very, very interesting, very important. And so So I had the ears. And when you have the ears, you need to just muscle your courage, because if you know what you're talking about, if you know your shit and you have the ears, then it's just about being courageous, and you just go for it.
Amazing.
And that's also indirectly such good advice, regardless of which industry you work in, especially if you're new, whether it's in real estate or any other industry. Guys, knowledge is power. You know what you're talking about. People aren't going to question how many years you've been in the business. They're not going to question if you can talk about the market, about the homes, about the finishes, about providing value to people, whatever that may be in whatever role that you're in. It can take you a long, long way. And I feel people shy away from actually studying and learning, and they say, where do I gain the confidence? Well, knowledge is where you gain the
Knowledge is
confidence, and
power.
you said it right
The heart
there.
is it's so true. It's so true. Really, when I hire agents, and I don't care how much they know and everything else, it's important we learn every day. And in our team meetings, I prepare our research, and I come and I talk about the market and the economy and all sorts of things, because the more you know, the more you understand, the more you can transfer it to your buyers and your sellers, and the more better you are. And the funny thing is, I always say a statement when you have a new agent who just finished the school. I tell them, okay, whatever you learned, now dump it out, forget about it, let's start all over again. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah,
There's nothing.
but knowledge.
So walk us through, Nurit, transitioning. Why did you leave defense minister for the military, and what happened with the real estate world, and how did that come about? And you stayed
That was kind of
in
funny
Washington.
too.
What's that?
Yeah, that was kind of funny. It was not planned. So after 10 years outside of Israel, to keep your security clearance, you got to move back to Israel.
Oh,
And it's a rule, because it's important that you don't align yourself with the country you're in. You got to still align yourself with the country that you represent. I wasn't allowed also to purchase a house in the United States or anything, so I wasn't allowed to create a base, right? But then, so one day, I was 10 and a half years, we didn't notice, but the security of Israel did, and they sent an email, cease and desist this moment. I couldn't go back into the office.
wow.
That's it. Because it's security, right? And I had to move back to Israel. So at that point, I had to make a decision. Do I just uproot everything like that and move to Israel? And I got some offers in the missile division in the north and all sorts of things. And I said, okay, you know what? Let me take myself about 2 months off and figure out what I want to do, because it is a male-dominated world, and I got to really quickly, really high position at a very young age. If I'm going back to Israel, I'm going to be competing against a lot of people that have been there for many, many years, and it's a tough one. I did struggle with that idea of being in a man-dominated world, and what do I have to offer, and how high can I go? Because the pie gets shorter when, smaller as you go high, right?
That's right.
So I took 2 months off. I think I cried for about a month because I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Wow.
This was my life.
And how old were you back? How old were you then, Nurit?
I was, let me think.
31, 30?
So it was about 31.
Okay.
Yeah, 31. And I just had no clue what I'm going to do. So there was an open house because the government paid for my housing, my rental. In my neighborhood, there was an open house. So it's the first time I was like looking at the open houses and let me look what it is, what it's all about. So I went to the open house. It was 2001, if you know the market back then. I go there and I calculate what the mortgage going to be compared to what they're paying for my rental. And actually, the mortgage will be less than my rental. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is kind of crazy. So I turned around and bought two. One
homes.
for me and one for rental. Yeah. I was like, this is great. No, I'm buying two because you can't do that in Israel. There's no way your rental will cover. No.
Gotcha.
So I literally bought two just like that. And I loved it. In the process, I loved the whole idea of owning places. I didn't love, because at that point I was allowed to buy. I didn't like the idea of who I worked with. I just felt not the best agent. I did all the research, did all the work, did everything that needs to be done, thinking about what I want to do. And as soon as I bought it, a lady drove by and asked me, "Do you know if there's any rental here?" And I said, "Yeah, I just bought one." And I literally rented it that second. So, so then I bought another one. And then I said, all right, time to get my license. And that's how I got into real estate. I decided to stay here and get my license.
Incredible.
That's fantastic. That's one way of doing it, right? Do it with a bang. Buy two at a time.
Walk into an open house.
Yeah.
Why do I need you? I'll buy my own. I'll make my own license.
So you get into
I know.
You get into real estate. A lot of the skills that you had, did you feel those were transferable? Considering you've been in high pressure situations, you've negotiated, you've dealt with a lot of people at a lot of different levels. So did you feel like it was a big shift or just a change in mindset and you had all the skills already that you could apply from what you'd done in the past?
You're very smart. It's a great question. Really, really great question. Because it was very natural to me. It was taking your skills and putting them towards this good thing, which is helping people. I love people. I'm a very sensitive person. I get very connected to people. I can know you from the hello, who you are. And that is a skill. Maybe I got in the military, maybe I don't know, but I really know you from the hello. I can know what you feel, what you think. In negotiation, I had years of training on that. So you definitely want to be on my side of the table when you negotiate, I tell you that.
Oh, definitely you do. I can speak of experiences, so don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, but negotiation is making sure everybody's winning, right?
Yep.
And the other side feels that they got what they wanted, although you get what you need. So there's a play, and there's a play of how you say what you say, and even the questions you ask. If I don't get my answer, I'll ask it differently in a very friendly way. I will get my answer. Because somehow you will tell me what I need to know without even noticing that you told me, because I asked the question different ways. So it's a kind of a skill that you learn or you develop with being sensitive. I guess from what I came from, I was very sensitive, and gaining confidence and using it towards the good, using it towards helping people, not taking advantage of people. I always tell agents, don't cut your commission. Money will come. Just do the right thing. And it's so important because in front of us, there's this person who is looking for advice, and we have to be real. We have to really hug them along the way and give them the right advice. And then everything else will follow through, will be successful.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so my training, I don't know. I guess everything builds you a little bit in life. Is being confident, but still being sensitive. It's ability to know and know your material, and always quest for more information. That's always, I love information. I love data. So quest for that. And just bringing good for the world in general. I think
So you
it's
got your
important.
license. I definitely all those background helped you to toughen you up for something that now you're independent. You were independent since you were 15. So you know exactly what to do with that, but you just wanted to go climb higher and higher and higher. So which company did you go to first? Give us a little bit about the time, because I know it's a lot of time has passed until today, but we want to know, what did you do? What did you achieve? Because you are somebody that I think you are satisfied, but are not and you don't settle. There's a difference people that have satisfaction, they're in life, but they have the satisfaction, but they're like to always achieve, or the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next for them. That's what you are. That's what we, Farhad and I are. We always have those ambition and fire and goals. We want to always be better and go higher and higher. So tell us what happened to, where did you go? You know, how was your first year look like? Give us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think we're all in the same kind of like mold, right? There's specific people in that kind of mold that has a quest to always push forward, right?
Correct.
So I first took my license and I went to Weichert Realtor and I took my license with Weichert, to some company here. And of course, they when they teach you the license, they teach you how amazing their company is and they want you to be in that company. And I said, fine, I'll just start with them. But as soon as I started, immediately, I researched and I realized that you got to be able to, if you sell a Coca-Cola, you're going to advertise for Coca-Cola. If you sell a car, you're going to advertise for car, and you're going to position yourself in it really well. You're going to be different. Mm-hmm. So immediately I spent money in advertising. I called a PR company and I created a brand. I went in it differently. I potpourri the neighborhood with my mailers, but they were different. They were colorful. They're showing different. They were luxury. I changed completely how things are looking because it was boring. Mm-hmm. It was really boring back then. So in literally 3-4 months, I became Rookie of the Year for the whole Washington Metropolitan. Which was pretty crazy because it was like bang, like that. I get phone calls, people call me, my neighbors, my friends, my this and other neighbors. And it just was different because I immediately started with marketing with a PR company and I hired a marketing person. That was the immediate thing that I did. And that was a great thing. So when I realized that I don't like the yellow brand of Weichert and I don't use any of that, so I might as well either be independent or go to a company that is kind of like independent agents. So I moved after 3 months to Remax. And I stayed with Remax for a long time, for I guess 19 years or so. Along the ways, I opened my own franchise and my own office and created a whole team. But I stayed in Remax for a long time until I found my home. The agency.
Yeah. So how many deals did you do the first year, if you remember exactly, or around?
I don't remember. I know I have this Rookie of the Year thingy that I got from them, the crystal. It may say on it, I'm looking for the award, but I don't remember how many transactions I did, but it was a lot. It was really good. Listen, I made good money. I bought 4 more places that year.
I love it. This is the best advice anyone's gonna get, guys. You sell houses, you make money. Go buy some houses. Go buy some more. At it.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. And I wish every 20 years old listen to this because really save money. And I tell this to my new agents here, to my young ones. I'm telling them, listen, my goal is to help you buy properties. That's my goal. This is how I mentor them because really, if they can buy properties, put it for rental, forget about it for another 15 years, do not sell it. Real estate is not to be sold. Real estate is to be bought.
It's a long game.
Yeah. You hold it for 5, 7, 10, 15. The longer you hold it, the more money you're making at the end of the day. And in the long run, real estate has always gone up, historically speaking.
Always gone.
Yeah,
it's a funny thing. People thinking, well, it's going to go down. Well, you know what? Over a long run, it's always go down. No matter what, it goes up. No matter what, it's going to go like this, but it's going to go up. So whatever your parents bought the house 30 years ago, it went up. Yeah. I don't care what happened in 2007. Right. I don't care what happened. It's went up a whole lot. So yeah, I mean, if you could buy something, rent it, and forget about it. Save more money, buy another one, rent it, forget about it.
That's the
That's
best
a good
advice
advice.
ever.
That is the best way to do it. And investments are key. So have you just invested in real estate, or have you kind of dabbled in other things? Because I know you're very keen on crypto as well, and you're certified to sell crypto sell houses for cryptocurrency in the United States. So talk a little bit about that.
So crypto had a few years that it just went like everybody wanted to do crypto, right? But there were self-made millionaires or billionaires from crypto. And
Crypto made billionaires.
Yep.
Crypto made billionaires, right?
Yeah.
Overnight.
Yeah.
And the issue was, how do I use my millions and billions of dollars, because I can't use it. And there is a way to buy real estate using your crypto money. And there's going to be, the regulations will change, and the governments will eventually figure out a way to do it so it's formally being done. But there are right now lenders who will actually lend you money on your crypto assets. There are actually, because all these crypto buyers also don't have, many of them don't even have a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to have a job. So you cannot even get loan usually, can't show any income because they don't want to show their income.
That's right. Yep.
So there's a way to take money or lend money on your crypto assets. There's a way to transfer ownership to an LLC, and then you buy the LLC with the crypto money. So there's different things that you can do with crypto. There's a whole lot of solutions. And that's kind of what I've learned and what I got certified on. Then the market has crashed on crypto. It will change. It will come back. It has to be regulated better.
Mm-hmm.
But it is something that's going to come back.
Did you invest in crypto yourself?
A little bit, but yeah, well, I should have done better. I should have invested at the beginning, which I didn't.
We all should have, right?
We should have.
Did you
We
ever
all
touch?
should have,
the
right?
I know you're like anti.
No. I bought
You did?
Ethereum long time ago.
Okay.
And it wasn't that much. Like in 2015, I was on a beach and I bought some with a friend, but I should have bought a whole lot more. Should
I
have,
bought
could
for
have.
fun.
Yeah.
I bought for fun. It went up, a lot, like 20-some thousand dollars it was a lot for nothing that I spent. And then I sold it before it went to like $56,000. I sold it when it was like 40,000. I thought, wow,
That's
I
enough.
made a lot. And I sold it. I have always say pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. So I sold before I got slaughtered.
That's quite correct. That's
smart.
precisely correct.
Very smart.
All right, so let's get into some of this team building. What made you want to start a team? Is that something that you always wanted to do, or did that just come up naturally through working with? And when did you meet Alex as well? Is that something more recent, or have you guys had a relationship in the past and worked together in the past?
So with Alex, stars kind of align sometimes. And what happened is, I was with Remax and we had the broker as sweet as he can be, but he didn't like to spend a penny. So his office was pretty old computers that needs to be in the museum, and everything was kind of old. And I never want to bring people to the office. So I always just had met them at Starbucks and this and that and hotel lobbies and all sorts of things. Never want to bring them to the office because didn't like the office.
Mm-hmm.
So but I was the number one agent in the whole office, but never saw my face in the office. So the broker one day came to me and said, Nurit, why are you not coming to the office? I'm saving you an office for you. I said, I can't work with these computers, with these printers. There's no way I'm going to be here. There's no way. I can't do it. I have a great setup in my house. I cannot come here. And he said, well, we have an office next door that Alex, one of our agents, just renovated. Maybe you can take an office there. So I go across the hallway and I see this gorgeous totally renovate, because my partner Alex totally is like OCD kind of thing.
Yeah.
Everything is in its place, everything is organized. And I go and I'm like, damn, where is this? How come you're hiding this? And so I look at Alex. I said, Alex, this is amazing. Okay, I'm here. I want to take an office here. He looks at me like I came out of nowhere, like I'm taking his office. And he said, okay, let's have lunch and talk about it. And that's it. We went for lunch. And since then, we were together in this office, loving each other, helping each other grow.
I also get to know Alex as well through Nurit. We met before me a few times, and we hang out with each other. And he's just a fireball. He's just an incredible human being, exactly like Nurit. So
Seems like a great guy. I didn't have too much time with him, but I did meet him at the forum.
Yeah.
Had a
He's
couple
a great
conversations.
And we really complement each other, because he is more about systems and organizations and all that stuff. You give me paperwork, you lost me. I hate papers. I hate paperwork. I don't like filling out application. I can't stand it. It's just not me. Let me do marketing. Let me fly, talk to people, connect people, hug people. Let me do this all day long. Don't put me in the office, start preparing stuff. I don't like it.
You're a
And he
natural
loves-
salesperson. That's what you are. You're a natural
Right?
salesperson. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm there's the red and the blue or the green or yellow, whatever. I'm like all red. I have nothing. No blue, no green, no yellow. I'm red. In the personality scale, you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly. I've done those so many times. In the beginning, I was a heavy red with the yellow, and that was it. Like no blue, no white. White for sure, no. Like that's not me. White's like the peacemaker.
Okay.
And they're very non-confrontational.
Oh.
They're kind of go with the flow, but they're very organized. They're kind of by the book about everything that's there. That sounds like Alex would likely be closer to a white than anyone else. The yellows are kind of the fun life of the party. You're a yellow, like short attention spans, difficult time, like wanting to sit there for 2 hours to listen to shit, but they just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Those guys, but you have a lot of red in you too. Like you would be a red yellow mix yourself.
Natural
Red is that
salesperson.
like natural salesperson, really driven, natural leader, wants to win at everything, wants to be number one at everything.
Interesting.
That's
Okay.
And then
Never
the
done
blues
that.
are more emotionally driven.
Got it.
Yeah. They cry.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
So Alex definitely very organized. He likes it. Whenever there's like, I don't like pity and agents will complain or something. I don't have time for it. He can explain in a very calm way, he's like wonderful. He's like exactly what I need, because it's the stuff that I don't like to do. He does. And it works well because he does it really, really well. You know?
Yes.
But so that's how I met Alex, and that's how we became partners. After that, we became partners on the franchise for the Remax office, and we built our own office. And in terms of the team, it was a natural growth because I just couldn't handle everything. And the stuff that I don't like to do, I wanted to push to my assistant, and then my assistant needed an assistant, and then her assistant needed to split so she can get an assistant. I had an agent.
So Nurit get about 7 different assistants. 7 to 10. So assistant for everything. So,
By the way, like for those who
That's
don't
the
have an
best.
assistant, guys, it's a game changer.
It is a game changer.
So I just got an assistant a couple weeks ago, and one full time, and I have one part time, and the part time deals more with graphics and podcasts. A lot of that. Full time is an IC and an assistant, so it's been phenomenal. It's like a weight off my shoulders, and I'm now chatting with clients, having the appointments that I need to be having. I had a great one this morning. I've got 2 right after this.
Amazing.
But just the schedule's getting filled up. It's the perfect thing to have for those without an assistant. Go get one, especially if you're exploding at the seams with either leads or certain things that you need to do. It is certainly a game changer, and that's actually one of the advices that I got at the forum. So I was chatting with Ben Balak and John Groman, And as we chatted about potentially building a team, because that's one of my goals is to build a team, their main advice was the first thing you have to do is get an assistant. You cannot build a team before you
100%.
have an assistant. And if you do, you're really going to stretch yourself thin. You can't give everyone everything that you have. And then you're not going to be able to make money yourself or help your own clients because you won't have time for it.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I tell you, this is one of the biggest advice you just mentioned right here, and it's for every field. When I hired my first assistant, I was like so worried because she came from National Geographic. She had a real job. She's been there for 9 years. And I was thinking to myself, because I love people and I care for people, and I was like so worried. What if I'm not going to have work for her? What if she's not going to be busy? What if I can't pay her the salary? I can't take her from National Geographic being there for 9 years and she's not going to have enough to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to have a faith in yourself and 100% commitment to that person you hire and to yourself. And it will happen because suddenly, even if I didn't have enough for her, I gave her everything that I had to do. And we did extra. We did other things, new things. And I exploded, literally exploded. Suddenly I have so much more time to even think, to be creative, to call clients, to do new different things of marketing, to change, to grow myself in different ways. This was the best decision I've made. It's the first decision and the best decision I've made for my career.
Amazing. Amazing, amazing.
I love it. And going into building this team and hiring people is an art. So talk to us a little bit about that process of how you got good at it, because we've all made mistakes hiring the wrong person. I've done a lot of interviews. I'd probably say well over 1,000 myself. I've interviewed over 1,000 people easily. I worked for a lot of corporations, so used to do a ton of hiring for them. And I've been through this process so many times. So I feel like I've got a pretty good gauge, but I want you to share what your process is of hiring someone. What are you usually looking for? Is it the experience, the intangibles? I know what I want in people, but I want to hear from you to hear like what certain things align with you and what you really look for.
Yeah. For me, most important than anything is your heart, who you are. I surround myself around beautiful people, really sweet people. Beautiful, I mean beautiful hearted people, smart people, sweet people. Before anything else, I want to know that you are a nice, good, real person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how successful you could be as an agent. I don't care how ace of a wonderful realtor you are and how many millions you've sold. If you're going to be a bad apple for the team, for the atmosphere, I don't want you around, because that will take me down, will put me, it will cost me more because it will make me feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wouldn't like the atmosphere. I wouldn't like the people. I wouldn't like where I'm at. It will demoralize me. So for me, I gotta be able to feel that I connected to you, that you're gonna believe in me and I believe in you. It's not just that you believe in me. I have to believe in you. I have to like you as a person. I gotta know that I can trust you 100%. I gotta know that my clients can trust you 100%. I gotta know that you care about the people, or that you're a people person, because in this industry, it's all about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can help you be amazingly successful, but you gotta be a person, and a good person with a good intention and caring. So that's the number one for me. After that, you gotta be smart, because I can't deal with not be able to absorb and understanding things. So I don't have patience. That's one of my flaws.
Reminds me of somebody. Reminds me of someone.
No
right
patience,
here.
eh? When we were talking about the podcast, Peter's like, fuck, an hour and a half. I'm going to walk out after an hour. I can't do this. He's like, I don't know if I can last an hour and a half. This
I
is
almost
too much.
got up and left on my own podcast, on my own interview. I didn't want to.
Yeah, we had a semi break. He's like, "Are we done yet?" I'm like, "No, man, we're not done. We're still going."
Leave me alone, man. Let me go.
Listen, when I met Peter, I was like, this is my male version. Like seriously, I was like, I immediately fell in love with you guys.
Same
like
here.
you and Paige, I was like, this is like I love them.
Yeah,
This is
same
it.
here.
You know how you know a person from hello?
Same,
like knew them.
same.
I keep him on track. Basically,
no,
that's what I
same.
try to do.
You're such a super person. Really, you're wonderful.
Oh, he's
and it's hard for
amazing.
some wonderful people. That's why you have Farhad next to you.
Yes,
You see, this is exactly what it is.
We make a good team when we
do,
go out
we
and
do.
when we go out and present to builders or to clients. We kick ass.
I
We
know.
actually kick ass together.
Yeah.
We're really good.
Oh, I know. I know you do. There's no
We
doubt
individually kick ass too.
Yeah, we do.
We got a pretty good
And then-
closing ratio.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
together,
Don't mean to
more
toot
than
our own
double
horn.
kick ass. You know, when you together, you each one of you kick ass, and then you together, you much more than double. You know,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, 1 + 1 isn't 2. It's
No,
3.
no,
Yeah.
1 + 1 is
No,
usually
It's
it's
like
all
25
100.
sometimes. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Especially this kind of one.
To sum that up, number 1, I think, was attitude. Like be a good
Yeah.
person, good intentions, good
intention,
attitude.
yeah.
Number 2 was common sense. So this is something that I use. You need to have common sense.
100%.
Like for me, integrity I think is really important as well. I
Ethical
don't want a
integrity.
liar. I want someone who's ethical, who's gonna. You know what? I'd rather you just tell me the truth. Hey, this happened. It's all good. People fuck up. It's okay. And I
Yeah.
think that's part of being a good leader is understanding that people will make mistakes.
100%.
And a lot of times when you A, hire the wrong person, or B, they leave you for some odd reason, a lot of times the person that's hired them has done something wrong. I also want to put this out there. You have to look at yourself as a leader and say, okay, how am I going to help this person be successful? What training am I providing them? What resources am I providing them? What time am I providing them? If you think someone's going to enter your business today and learn everything, all your systems, your CRM, your back-end stuff, social media, and do it exactly the way you want it without you spending any time or dedicating any time, it's not happening. So I think a lot of people have this false perception, I'm going to hire an assistant and they're going to take stuff off my plate right away. No. You're going to get busier right away. You're going to have less time for all the things you actually need to do, and you need to give your assistant more time to train
gotta
them
invest.
in order to be successful. Like even my assistants, I sometimes chat with them. That first week was every day. I was having recorded calls like we are right now. I actually just opened up Riverside and recorded calls, and I would send it to them right after. So if they want to review something, and we do role plays, so that's all recorded so they can go back to it.
Yeah.
They see the style, they see what needs to be done, but just consistent communication, A, and B, great training. And if you're like the hiring portion, you've got to start with those non-negotiables, right? It's not always about the experience, the number one agent, the one who has 20 years of experience, because sometimes they're not willing to change their ways in the way they look at things, especially in our industry, right? You can't
And
teach an
also,
old dog new tricks. You just can't. It's all about how you conform to the ever-changing technology, what we have going on today.
Yep.
Like social media, as you said, you started doing flyers. Well, flyers versus social media today, right? And flyers still work. You still do geofarming.
farm.
We still do
I
geofarming.
still do farming. Yeah, people don't understand that. It works.
Of course,
Sure.
it takes time,
Yeah,
but
but
it
you
does.
know, you said so many important things along the way. What you said, and it's true. Once you're not looking for clones. You're not looking for people like you. There's so many successful people in real estate that are not same as me. But what you're looking for is the integrity, the good heart, the right person, the one who's willing to learn, the one who's willing to give, the one who's willing to be part of your group and your team. There's a lot that you to go with. Did I lose you guys?
No,
No,
still
we're
You're
here.
But you're stuck in my camera, by the way. You're not moving in my camera.
Oh, that's
no.
okay.
know.
It's okay.
It'll continue recording either way.
I'm trying to move, so
Yeah.
maybe you see me.
Yeah, we've got it recording in
Yeah, no,
like 3 different places.
We are good.
In my camera, you get stuck in the face, but that's okay. That's on my side. So really, you gotta have the good people, and then you gotta invest.
Yes.
You got to invest, and you continue to invest, and you continue to teach, and you continue to love and care and be there. and support, because why would they join your team if they're not going to get you support?
Like, I've seen you. We came to Washington to meet you. Remember for your grand opening, and I think we had about a 3 hours meeting before the day before we came in to Nurit's office. And I got to tell you, it was a game changer for me personally, because when I came back, and I got to tell you the experience, because first of all, Nurit and Alex walk around the office. Everybody loves them. Like, there is so much love in the air, in that atmosphere of that office. It's insane. Okay, and it all starts from them. It's just their exudes love and passion towards their whole team and staff. And it's a very busy office, and they get it back. So I strongly believe that we had great chats. We picked each other's brain, and we tried to exchange ideas. And that was the moment that Paige and I really fell in love with Alex and Nurit, and said, you know what, this is something that different that we have here as a friends and as colleagues, that we wanted to explore and make bigger and bigger and better things. But I want to go back to something. I want to ask you a question. I know when you were part of Remax and then you switched to agency, I want to find out what's going on there. But I know you were one of the highest producing office for Remax in Metro, right? So tell us how many, what was your transactions like? How many you guys were pumping deals? You told me this, so I know the stories, but I want the audience to understand, and then tell us, why did you do this switch to the agency? What was your thought process, Alex's, and then what are the challenges and all of that stuff?
So we were the number one team in the state of Maryland for Remax. We were number, I think, 6 or 5 in the United States for Remax.
That's huge.
That's
it's
insane.
huge, right? We sold, we had, it was pretty big, and we are, thank God, been very successful. What happened is we had the 5-year franchise agreement to be renewed. And we were looking at each other, and we realized that we build our own systems. We didn't use Remax systems at all. Back then, Remax didn't have a lot of systems. It was kind of like antiquated, like a little bit not today with
Still
today's
is.
technology.
Oh, I'm sorry, Remax, but
Yeah, I know.
still
I'm
is.
trying to
Yeah,
be-
you're trying to be politically
nice
correct,
about that.
but there still are.
Yes, exactly. So we had our own CRM, we had our own marketing. I never wanted to use the balloon. I didn't think it was sexy. I didn't have anything that I used. It was our own logo, our own listing presentations, our own packages, our own brochures, our own designs. It was nothing. Remember, I started with a PR company early. So when we came to redo the franchise again, and Compass back then became the new guys on the block. And everybody thought Compass is sexy and pretty and this and that. And they came to us too. And I looked at Compass and what they have, and I thought to myself, well, they call themselves a technology company, but they really don't have much technology. So it's just a sexy look, sexy logo, sexy brochures, but really down to it, it wasn't. So I want to be independent. They want to be under Compass because they're not going to have a franchise. They'll assume you to become their agent. So I said, okay, no. And I looked at Alex and told Alex, listen, I want to go to California because they do things differently there. It's very contemporary. Let's go and talk to PR companies in California that are in real estate and see what they have, what they can offer us, because I want to be really, really cut edge to technology and everything. So I scheduled 4 PR companies to meet us. And then one of my builder friend told me, look at this shit. This is a company in California that they created this brochure for me for real estate. Nobody does this shit like that. This is amazing. Look at that. And I look and I see this sexy brochure that they've created for him and a company called The Agency. And I'm like, this is exactly what I was looking for. I'm flying to California to meet PR companies for this. This is gorgeous. Who is this agency? It's like, I don't know, this Mauricio guy, you should talk to them. And that's what happened. So I called Mauricio and I said, listen, I'm flying to California. We're a number one team in Maryland for Remax, blah, blah, blah. We're not signing. I want to meet with you guys and see what you have to say. And he said, come. And that's what happened. So we flew to several PR companies. We stopped in Mauricio, met the agency. We fell in love that moment. And that was history after that.
Yeah. Similar story, actually.
And this is 2019, 20?
This is...
or earlier?
19.
19. Okay.
So me and Nurit and Alex actually before 20. That was 20 because we I got a call from the head of franchise. I said, because I opened up in the middle of pandemic. It was April 8th, 2020. So I got a call. They said we are thinking of another East Coast office in Washington, Maryland, and they're the number one team in the number one brokerage in that area. They did 500 plus transactions, if I make the year before. So we really want Nurit and Alex. Can you jump on a Zoom and have a quick conversation with them? I said, of course, I love the brand and I'm high. It just opened up and I'm just running around. So me and Nurit and Alex, I never forget it. I was in Baby York Mills. I was on my phone and we did a Zoom together. He was on my phone in the back of my car and I'm pacing back and forth in the parking lot and we were talking. We had a good conversation like for half an hour. And they asked me questions. We really like the whole conversation that's happening and all of that stuff. And then the next thing I know, of course, they opened up. So I was super excited about that. So
yeah, I mean, our meeting with Mauricio was really important, and then the second most important, we always say to ourselves, me and Alex, was the call with you guys, because you guys really had an amazing experience and told us from your point of view how it is switching to the agency. Because we've been for like 19 years with Remax. It's a big decision.
It was
to make that switch. Whether we use the name or not, or it gave us a lot, no, but we were still, a brand here in this area. And nobody knew the agency back then in DC.
Yep.
They asked me, you moved to the agency? What agency? The agency.
Which agency do you work with? I get this all the time.
Yeah.
So I was actually on the phone with a client this morning. He's like, which agency are you with? I'm like, I'm with the agency.
Yeah.
It's from California. We've got a Netflix show. Your wife probably knows about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we really paved that. Yeah.
Yeah. And now people telling me, oh my gosh, like agent will come to me and say, Nurit, you aced it. When you said you're moving to the agency, we're like, what's going on with Nurit? What did she drink? Because who is the agency? What is she doing? I mean, Remax, everybody knows her. And now they're like, oh shit, this is great. Nurit, kudos to you.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know what you're doing, but I guess you knew what you're doing.
So Nurit is extremely, extremely creative. So tell us, what is it that like the advices that you can give to a newer agent that are starting into the business, the first 5 years. And I know how you operate, your brain operate. You're so fast and you come up with such a genius ideas in terms of marketing. You're really a great marketer. Not only a great salesperson, but you're a great genius marketer that you come up outside the box. Because I brought some of your stuff back and I was parading around the office. Look at what Nurit has. Look. I'm showing
some
everybody,
of the books,
I'm
Team
showing
Nurit,
everybody,
Team Alex.
we still have it at the office over here at the conference center. But where do you get your inspiration? Where do people find inspiration for themselves to take themselves to the next level of the business if they want to emulate you? How do you come up with this stuff? I know, just you tell me your process.
Yeah, so I guess again it's about understanding in people, and you cannot, like my marketing person, for her, she works. I have now 4 people in marketing because they work very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you can't put me in a stupid box. I cannot do this. You cannot have templates for me because I hate templates. If you're gonna send a mailer just listed, under contract, just listed, just sold, and it looks the same, you have about a second from somebody's attention when they go to the trash can to trash what you just sent them, right?
Yep.
You have a second in the email for them to look at it. If you don't have, if the message, my message is not going to you in a second, I failed. And if I don't make you stop and look, I failed. So it needs to be, some things have to be the same, meaning the logo, my picture, this. They need to know, oh, it's again Nurit. But they're loving it because it's different, it's unique. It's everyone is like, it's an art by itself.
Yeah.
So when I look in a mailer, when I look in an email, I look at the post, it needs to capture your attention like that. The message that I'm trying to send to you has to be like
right
that.
Away, popping up. Yep.
Right away. So you understand, you connect to Nurit, and this is what she's asking me.
Got it.
It has to connect. If I don't see that, and because maybe ADHD, because I'm impatient and you get my split second, when you put something in front of me, I can immediately says, nope, where's the message?
Got it.
And they hate me for that. Because I always tell them,
She comes
where's
up
the
with all
message?
the
Like,
ideas.
you're not reading. I said, of course I'm not reading, because nobody reads.
Yeah.
You put 12 sentences, what?
Yeah.
Where's the message? It's
too
lost
much.
in the 12 sentences.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Correct.
So really, the creativity part of it is to capture also what's your clients, what is the important things for somebody right now. I gotta capture your heart. I gotta touch you. And if right now you're worried about affordability, if you're worried about your stock market, if you're worried about whatever, the election, if you're worried about the highway they're going to build right now by your road, by your house, if you're worried, whatever it is you're worried about this moment, I can use that to capture your attention.
Got it.
So you gotta, the message, and it needs to be something that is interesting to you, something that touches you, and you gotta see this message like that, understand this message like that, and it needs to be sexy, pretty, something that capture your look, right? That you want to stop and look for a second. So these are the rules, really. And if you capture those rules, you're gonna get attention.
And you do it fantastic.
I'm sorry?
He said you do it fantastically.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what would you say your biggest pillars of your business are? Where does most of your business come from? If you're to give us a percentage, is allocated from, maybe it's door knocking, it's flyers, it's social media marketing, it's referrals. Where does that come from? And kind of going back to what should people focus on if they don't have the money to be focused on advertising? Because the thing is, geofarming, if you're not willing to do it for at least 12 months, and that's anything, that's even online advertising, guys, don't do it for a month, 2 months, three months, and then say, I didn't get anything and I just stopped. Or I called 100 people and they didn't convert, so I stopped. No, you have to do it for about 12 to 18 months before you start seeing returns on anything. So with that said, over to you. Where does your business come from? What percentages are from the door knocking side versus the social media side? So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. And Fard, you do that. You come every Saturday and you record a podcast. That is, if you had just one podcast and then another one 6 months later or whatever, that wouldn't have the effect, right? It's the same thing. You do exactly what you're supposed to do. So anything you do, you commit to it. You're right. You cannot do farming without committing. And I tell it to my agents as well. I'll come up with all these ideas, but you've got to be able to send it every time. And there's rules about farming and a whole lot of holistic approach to it, in my opinion, that I take. And I'm happy to share. But my clients, so if you want to be successful in real estate, you gotta have most of your clients coming from personal referrals and repeat clients.
That's right.
You cannot just buy and look for new people all the time that you don't know. You have to be able to conquer your personal referrals and your past clients. You have to. That's number one. So you nourish that. Once you got that, then you can continue and explore for the new things, which is either buying leads online or advertising campaigns or doing mailers or door knocking, whatever that is that you want to do. There's some things that it's not for everybody, like door knocking is not for me, although it's very successful. I don't know. I just don't have it in me. And it's very successful. People do that. I have agents who are magnificent in that. And kudos to them because they're amazing. I have a flaw. I don't know how to door knock a door. Just don't know. But I know how to tell them how to do it. I know how to say so you'll grab their people's attention. I know how to create for you what to give them, a really good piece that's going to be showing that you're actually giving them something versus knocking the door to bug them. So you got to have the psychology behind something, what you do. So if you're coming with something to give, then you're okay knocking the door because they may be interested in that. So, but you have to go through your sphere of influence, your clients, your friends, your neighbors. If anything, start there. These are your warmest people who would want to help you. You just have to master the ask. Just ask. Don't forget to ask. It's okay to ask.
Ask and you shall receive.
And it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to tell them, listen, I need your help. I have a great team leader who is going to support me, who's going to go and do it with me, blah, blah, blah. Help me. And
advice.
That is important.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Advice.
Yeah, and leveraging, as you said, leveraging someone who is a team leader, go join a team, work with someone who knows what they're doing.
Yep.
Team up with someone, because remember, 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. And I think people forget that, and they try to gain the business on their own, and they really end up losing the client long term because they don't know what they're doing, or they don't have the overall experience at all.
Listen, it's somebody's biggest decision, okay? If I'm selling my house, it's my biggest asset. And you come to me as a friend and you just got your license. And with all due respect, I love you, but this is my biggest asset. And I'm just going to dodge you and find the biggest asset in town to sell my house.
That's right.
Right?
Okay, I want to gear this towards our
last question before we go to you. Because I know what you want to go to.
Where?
Okay, last question is what were, and I genuinely want to know this. This is for people building teams. What were your biggest challenges and how did you overcome them? Because there's been a lot of growing pains of you building this team. And you've been going at it for a number of years. And you've done it very successfully. You've got great retention. People love you. People enjoy working with you. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced and how have you made it this far?
So, I made mistakes along the way too. I think that one of the challenges is that you invest in somebody for so long and then they think they can be successful or they are successful because of them, not because of all the stuff that you have given them. Meaning a lot of times we give referrals and we give leads and Zillow leads and all that stuff. And they're doing really, really well, especially new agents who haven't been in other companies and don't know the support they're getting and don't know all the stuff we're doing. Because for our agents, there's a whole lot of things that it's another podcast by itself. How you build a team, what you do for your team to create for your team so you keep the retention. But if they haven't been other places, they think it's very easy. They don't realize that you do so many things. And just by even a third party to be able to say we're a number one team, I work with the number one team, it's much easier than to say come work with me because you're a new agent. But if you have the third party endorsement that you work with the number one team and we sold this much and this and that, you're already feeling better, you already have the success. So the biggest thing was some of the new agents that we grew from nothing to become $10 million agents or $15 million agents felt that suddenly they want a much higher split and unreasonable, or they wanted to go somewhere else, and suddenly they fall. I took it personally a lot of times because I felt like I invested so much, but it's okay. It's people's wishes to grow,
Mhm.
and it's okay. So I've learned ways to allow my team members to grow and stay within the team, and allow them to build a team within the team. So we were able to kind of do something on that to allow them to feel this, because this is everybody's. You wanna grow yourself as well.
Mhm.
Um, so that's some of the things that I've fixed along the way, I would say. And that was the biggest challenge for me, because I love you. I fall in love with you. I'll give you everything
Mhm.
because we partners in this. And I took it very personally. But it's business at the end of the day. A lot of times Alex tells me, Nurit, it's not a family, it's a business. But I don't have that distinction because this is who I am. I'm all in. I'm family.
This is
I
this this
love you
is this,
guys.
this is me and why me and Nurit we resonate a lot, because you heard me say this constantly in the office. I'm the same way. It's just I give so much, and like we put our heart and soul into everything we do, because we don't know anything else. We don't know how to be the hold things back and not share.
Yeah,
I just don't know how. It's not my personality. It's just either I'm
no,
in 1,000,000% or I'm not. See, that's
oh, I'm
why
not.
exactly. It's there is no gray in between for me and you. That's why me and her we are so much alike.
Yeah, it's so much alike. And it's and I don't know, some people say this is business. You can't be like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's my family. You spend here's my philosophy. You spend big portion of your hours of the day working,
Hmm.
because another portion, some hours you're home, like in the evening, dinner, blah blah, morning, whatever, and then you go to sleep. That's the other biggest portion, right?
Yep.
So most of the hours is working. I'm spending here with these people, and it's my second family. I gotta love it. I mean, I love what I do. I
Hmm.
wake up in the morning, I'm happy. It's my thing, and I have to love the people around me. And if I have to watch my back, or somebody not making me happy, I there's no money in the world that's worth it for me.
Same here. It's not worth it.
That's fair.
It's not worth
I
it.
have a question for you before you go on.
No, go ahead.
Where's your
Finish up.
shoes?
My shoes, I put them
Like,
at the front.
what happened? I'm like, where's?
I'm
I
very,
see socks.
I'm in my
Like,
socks.
what
I'm
happened,
in
man?
my socks.
I'm like, this is not on brand, Peter Torkey.
I took off my shoes. Those are my boots. Okay, so last thing I want to ask you is actually it's a two-part. Okay, I want you to talk about DR, Dominican Republic. How did you all of a sudden got the courage and the ambition to go from Washington D.C. and dragged me along with you, of course, which I begged you to be part of it, which I love. Thank you, you guys are you guys are kicking ass in DR. That's number one. But what was that? Why that ambition to push for an agency office in DR? And then lastly, just tell us what big advice do you have for the audience that they can improve themselves in life, whatever their job is. Could be something else, doesn't have to be real estate, because this podcast is about art of greatness, making yourself better in life. So tell us the art and then the advice.
Yeah, so DR. I think that I really fell in love with the idea of learning a new culture, new place, having a sunny place to go to. By the way, it has a lot to do with it. I like the beach, and it's such a great culture, such a cool people. And I found this most amazing partners to do it with. And when I've, like everything that I do, I researched it, I've studied it, I've learned, I saw how they do business there, what they do, and I've realized, if we come structured with our structure and we come with what we have, we will change how business is done in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a country that everybody's a realtor. There's no license, there's no regulations, there are no requirements. You want to be a realtor? It's good, you're a realtor. Next.
The cab driver is a realtor.
And you don't even need to follow me a business card.
The funny thing is, you say the cab driver. So I went to, the first time I went to study whether I like this place or not. My hotel butler, he explained to me this and that. I asked him for papayas and guava. He brings me a platter with papaya and guava, and then he gives me a card. I'm also a realtor.
That feels like Toronto nowadays.
No, but at least you have to go to school for 15 months.
I know.
Yeah.
There's no requirements. So then what happened because of that, a lot of people got burned. They bought places and not from the seller was not actually the deed of record seller. And then they had this represented this person, but then they had about 4 other layers of representation before they got to the owner. A lot of stories like that. So coming as a company that is so professional, that is an American company, that we have systems and we're doing it the right way, it's such an important thing. So for the first few months, what we're spending on right now is creating the systems, creating the base and everything else, because we're different, we're organized, and we already have tons of listings. We have developers contacts. It's been amazing, absolutely amazing. We're already starting seeing the sales. We already have a few on the contracts, which I need to update you, Peter. But it's been great. I love it. It's a challenge, and it's such a wonderful thing. It makes me happy, really.
And Nurit is not shy of getting away from a challenge, man. She is not shy at all.
She's one badass woman. If there's anything we know through this podcast, she's one badass woman.
100%. No, nobody messes with Nurit.
No, it's. I like to work. I think we all workaholics, right? In a way,
We are.
we like it.
Yeah.
And I don't call it workaholic myself. People call this, telling me sometimes I don't, because I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah, if you love
And I
it,
love my kids and I love my family. I'm all in everything. I'm big time all in into my kids. I'm big time all into my dog. I'm and everything.
And if you love what you do, it's not work. That's what I say.
Yeah.
If you love what you
Agreed.
do, it's not work. It's you're enjoying what you're doing. So that's what it matters. So the last advice, and then maybe I know you want to ask a question about a question from Nurit towards you for the final question. What's the biggest advice? I want to hear
biggest advice that you have in terms of achieving greatness.
Keep pushing. First of all, keep pushing. Believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. It starts with you. Okay? So you need to be a good human being, a loving person, trusting people. If you don't trust people, you cannot be trusted. So trust people. It's okay. We make mistakes, and yes, it's their shit if they use my trust. It's not me.
Yep.
Right? Trust people, love people, keep pushing, and number 1, believe in yourself.
That's it. Confidence is
Believe
key.
in your greatness.
Confidence is key, my friend. Confidence is key.
Completely agree. All right. So what made you want to join forces with Peter to bring the agency downtown and be a managing partner of that?
I'm going to let you answer that one.
First of all, who's not going to want to be part of Peter and Paige? I'm like honored, seriously.
No.
Are you sure? Like I'm here with them all the time, and it's a little rough.
I don't know.
I come into the office every day. I love these guys.
I drank the Peter Kool-Aid, I guess, but I love them. I mean, I feel like we're similar kind of people. The challenge in downtown Toronto is not really a challenge. It's an amazing opportunity. Learning what Toronto is all about and how amazing Toronto is. It's such a cool city. And it's such an amazing opportunity for us to bring the system, bring the agency, bring the love and helping agents in this coolest city in the world. Totally, really. It's so exciting. I mean, just thinking about it, I get excited. And I have the best partners. So we
Same
will
here.
have so much fun together. So for me, it's a win-win. It's absolutely exciting thing for me.
I think that question should have been two parts. You should be also asked from me as well because it's two ways.
You're gonna chime in anyways. So go ahead, Peter.
No, it is no. So look, Nurit is such a force to be reckoned with, in my opinion, and Paige's opinion. We just love her to death. So, and when DR happened, I see the way that she just, wow, the research that she's telling you, it's not a joke. Like she really, I'm sorry about that. She really, she knows so much about DR that my head got start spinning about the information that she was giving me. And also I know how creative she is and how such a loving person she is. And I think a partnership just made absolute sense, you know. So to bring Nurit in and grow this brand and this baby, and as she likes and as we love and you love, and as a family we grow together, and we have big ambitions for Toronto and other places. So I think it was just a synergy between us that it was just the match made in heaven. so it was just match made in heaven. I think everybody will benefit from it in terms of internally from here, Washington, D.C., the DR, the whole ecosystem of between offices of ours. Everybody will benefit from this the partnership, and I think it's going to be tremendous.
Awesome. Amazing. Very well. Thank you, guys. Anything to add, Nurit?
No. It's I was thinking about last question you had. It was you also, the one more thing, I'll suggestion as well is that it's okay to make mistake. It's okay to make mistakes, but learn quickly and pivot quickly from it. That was something else that I should have told you. Because I make mistakes along the ways all the time, but you recognize really quickly, shoot, I made a mistake, pivot very quickly, fix it, recognize it, accept it, take it,
move on,
and fix it really quickly.
Absolutely. Like you heard me saying this is exactly going back to that. Is I me and you, we have personalities like we don't aim, and then shoot. We shoot, oh shit, it didn't hit the target. Let me just adjust it and fix it and just move on. That's my personality, same. And then you heard me say this many times. Shoot first, ask questions later. And if you need to aim, re-aim again and fix it up and just adjust yourself, adjust your decision and just do it.
Just make a decision.
You have to make a decision. Most people in life, unfortunately, their biggest problem is it's their own head. It's their own mindset. Yeah. It's just their own belief, as you said, believe in yourself, that they believe in themselves, that they're not good enough. They can't do it, and that's all it is. It's
analysis paralysis. They keep on analyzing, just do it.
Just do it already. Okay. Exactly. Love it. Okay. Go on.
Sometimes a bad decision is better than
no decision at all.
I completely agree.
Love it.
All right. On that note, thank you so much, Nurit. We've had a wonderful time getting to know you. We appreciate you sharing your early childhood as well. And I think we could dig deeper into business, probably for another podcast, into different pillars and actually really dig into real estate. That'll be part 2. But really, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. And to the audience, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to the Art of Greatness podcast. We're excited. We're going to bring you another guest in a few weeks. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Really appreciate the support, and have yourselves a wonderful
Hold on, don't finish up. Where can audience find you, Nurit? What social media would you like to the audiences to go follow you and look for your inspiration from Nurit?
At Team Nurit. I have an Instagram at Team Nurit. TEAM.
On Instagram, Nurit. Right? We're going to put that in the comment as well.
Everything's down below.
In the comment as well.
Nurit on Instagram, and follow you, Peter, because they can see me well. A lot of times you
We are together.
Quite
We're together. 100%. Love you to death, as always.